A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a dramatic turn of events over the Labor Day weekend, a federal judge intervened to prevent the deportation of hundreds of unaccompanied Guatemalan children who had crossed into the United States alone. The ruling comes as the Trump administration intensifies its immigration enforcement efforts, raising concerns about the treatment of vulnerable minors caught in the crossfire of political agendas. Judge Sparkle L. Suknanen, appointed by President Biden, issued a temporary order blocking the flights that were set to return the children to Guatemala. This decision was made after attorneys representing the minors argued that federal officials were violating legal protocols and potentially placing the children in harm's way. The judge's order applies broadly to all Guatemalan minors who arrived in the U.S. without a parent or guardian, effectively allowing them to remain in the country for at least the next 2 weeks while the legal battle unfolds. At a hearing, Judge Suknanen expressed her concerns about the government's actions, stating, "I do not want there to be any ambiguity," emphasizing the urgency and seriousness of the situation. The backdrop of this legal struggle is the Trump administration's commitment to executing what has been described as the largest deportation operation in American history. With Chicago identified as the next target for federal immigration enforcement, city officials have begun preparations for the anticipated arrival of federal agents. The judge's ruling comes after reports indicated that some of the children were already on planes, awaiting deportation at a Texas airport. Eyewitness accounts described scenes where children, dressed in uniforms typically used in government shelters, were herded onto charter buses that transported them to the aircraft. The urgency of the situation was underscored by the fact that the deportation efforts were taking place during a holiday weekend, a time when many might assume such actions would be paused. The White House has defended its stance, with Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller accusing the judge of effectively kidnapping the children by halting their deportation. The administration claims that the repatriation efforts are being conducted in coordination with the Guatemalan government, which has expressed a willingness to accept the children back. However, attorneys representing some of the minors have contested this narrative, asserting that the children were not given a fair chance to contest their deportations. One 16-year-old girl, currently residing in a shelter in New York, stated in court filings that she fears for her safety if sent back to Guatemala, where she has experienced threats against her life. Other minors have shared similar stories of neglect and abuse in their home country, further complicating the government's claims of a safe return. The legal challenge, spearheaded by the National Immigration Law Center, was prompted by the government's sudden and secretive deportation plans, which left many families in Guatemala unaware of their children's fates. The judge's emergency order not only pauses the deportations, but also allows for further legal discussion regarding the children's rights and protections under U.S. law. Historically, unaccompanied minors have been afforded certain legal protections, requiring the government to follow a legal process before deporting them. This includes the opportunity for the children to present their cases in court and for the government to assess whether returning them is in their best interests. The National Immigration Law Center has argued that the Trump administration's actions constitute a clear violation of these protections, as the children were being prepared for deportation without due process. As the legal proceedings continue, the situation remains fluid, with the potential for further appeals from the government. Observers anticipate that the Trump administration may seek to challenge the judge's ruling in a higher court as soon as possible, aiming to expedite the deportation process. The implications of this case extend beyond the immediate fate of the children involved. They highlight the broader issues surrounding immigration policy and the treatment of minors within the system. As the nation grapples with these contentious issues, the plight of unaccompanied Guatemalan children serves as a poignant reminder of the human impact of political decisions. The coming weeks will be crucial in determining the future of these vulnerable individuals and the legal framework surrounding their rights as minors seeking refuge in the United States. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.